Hello everyone, myself Pancham Singh. I am going to discuss the first lecture on object-oriented system design, and the subject code is KCS 054. The today topic is the inheritance in C++. So first I am going to discuss about what is the inheritance. So inheritance is the process by which new classes called derived classes are created from existing classes. So if you're going to create a new class, so definitely we are going to inherit the property of the base class to the derived class. The second point, the derived class have all the features of the base class. The derived classes have all the features of the base classes, and the programmer can choose to add new features specific to the newly created derived class. So when programmer want to create a new class, so definitely he will go to the base class, and he will go to the base class. On the basis of that, he will create the new class that is called the derived class. So the idea of inheritance implement is the relationship. Relationship means we are going to create a new class that have the relation between the base class. So any class if you are going to create, that is called the derived class. A derived class have the property of which is inherit the property of the base class. For example, mammal animal, that is dog is an animal, as well as cat is an animal. So if you are going to discuss about the property of the inheritance, so mammal is an animal which have the two different mammals in the form of the dog and cats. They are inherit the property of the animal. So you can see here dog, that is a mammal. So that dog is inherit the property of the mammal. So inheritance in simple way you can say, so if you're going to inherit the property, so if you're going to derive a class and that class have the property which is inherited by the base class. So base class is the major class, that is super class you can say, where you are going to inherit the property of the derived class. So in this diagram it is very clearly explained that, so mammal, here is the mammal. So mammal basically is a animal where two different animals, one is the dog and second is the cat, both inherit the property of the mammal. So in this diagram it is very clearly explained that if you're going to discuss about how they are inherit the property, so they are inherit the property of mammals. So mammals is a property where both different derived classes have inherit the property of the mammals. So there are two derived class. You can say first one is the dog and second is the cat. And cat and dog both are inherit the property of mammals. So what are the features or advantages of inheritance? So why inheritance is very important concept in object oriented. So the first concept is the reusability of the code. So if you're going to discuss about the inheritance, so reusability is the very important, or you can say it is a keyword in inheritance, or you can say in object-oriented system. So reusability, if you're going to use the code, so definitely you will use the reusability concept in the inheritance. This is the first point. And now move for the second point, that is saves time and effort. So because if you are not going to write the program again and again, so you can use the concept of reusability, and you will apply the reusability concept, then you can reduce the time and effort. Faster development, easier maintenance, and easy extended. So this is the third and important property of the inheritance. So where you can implement fastly because you are using the concept of reusability. Easily maintenance, so there is no more maintenance requirement here, and you can extend the and easy to extend. You can easy to extend the programming, or you can say easy to extend the software by using the reusability concept. So by using the reusability concept, you can do the programming part more easily, and you can extend the coding part. So by using the reusability, so you can say maintenance and easy extendability is easily possible in the C++. Last one is the capable of expressing the inheritance relationship and its transitive nature, which ensures chosen with real world problem. So if you're going to solve the real world problem, so by using the concept of inheritance, we can solve the real world problem. What is going in around me and our surrounding. So there are different problems which are solved by the inheritance properties. So what is the inheritance? Basically, if you're going to discuss about this topic, so why this topic is very important. So inheritance is the mechanism to provide the power of reusability and extensibility. So these are the two very important points, or you can say two very important the keywords in inheritance, where you will use the concept of reusability, that is, and extensibility. So reusability means we are going to use the code again and again in the programming, and extensibility, you can extend the size of the program or size of the software by using the reusability concept. So inheritance is the keyword, or you can say inheritance is the property in OOPS, where you can use the two important keywords, that is, first one is the reusability and second is the extensibility. Now the second point is inheritance is the process by which one object can acquire the properties of another object. So inheritance, basically we are going to discuss about the two important points, or you can say two important the keywords, that is object and class. So if you're going to create a class, so definitely every class have the similar type of the objects, and they have the different features or functionalities. So the keyword is that if you're going to object can acquire the property of another object, only it is possible in the inheritance. So object directly not communicate to the another object, but with the help of the inheritance, by creating the class, a class can communicate to another class by inherit the feature of the one class to another class. So this type of concept is possible in inheritance. Now third point is the inheritance is the process by which new classes called derived class are created from existing class called base class. So if you're going to create a new class, so new class can be created only when you have the create a base class. So base class is the major class, or you can say it is a main class. With the help of the base class, you can create more than one derived class. So every derived class have the some properties of the base class, that is called the inheritance. So inheritance is the process by which new classes called derived class are created from existing class called the base class. So base class is the main class where every new derived class can inherit the property of some features of the base class. Last one is allows the creation of hierarchical classification. So why we are saying it is a hierarchical classification? Because inheritance basically follow the hierarchical classification. So if you are going to discuss about the different types of inheritance, so here are single inheritance, multi-label, multi-label inheritance. So these are the hybrid level inheritance. So inheritance can be categorized into the different labels. So hierarchical means if you are going to create a derived class, so every derived class have the some features of the base class. So if you're going to create another derived class, so definitely another derived class can be created to the upper class, that is behave as a base class. So every class which is acquiring the property of the base class, so that will behave as a base class. It means that if you're going to create more than one derived class, so we are going to follow the hierarchical structure. So here inheritance basically is what? So inheritance, if you're going to discuss this diagram, so point parent class or base class. So if you're going to discuss this point, so this behave as a parent class, and line is called child class or derived class. So point is the base class and line is the child class, or you can say derived class. So derived class can be possible by using the some features of the base class. Now if I are going to discuss about the next example, that is very important example here. Inheritance, if you're going to discuss about the fruit, so fruit is like a base class, and every fruit is divided into different categories. Like the first one is the orange, second is the mango, and third is the banana. So every fruits they are inherit the property of the fruit. So fruit is the base class, orange is the derived class, mango is the derived class, banana is the derived class. So every derived class have the feature of the fruit. So this is the inheritance. So in another example, if you're going to discuss about the inheritance, so inheritance is basically what? Inheritance going to discuss by the diagrammatically like polygon. So polygon is behave as a base class, or you can say super class. So super class means every polygon is behave as a base class or super class. If you're going to derive a new class, so new class can be derived by the polygon in the form of the triangle, in the form of the rectangle. So these two derived class is called the subclass, or you can say it is a derived class. So these two subclass having the some features of the polygon, or you can say polygon is the base class or super class where two base class is having the property of the polygon. So that is behave as a inheritance. So inheritance basically in simple words you can say inheritance means a parent class that create more than one derived class, and every derived class having the some features of the parent class, that is called the inheritance. So in the diagram here, how you can explain the polygon in little bit more. So polygon is a super class here. You can say polygon is a super class. So in polygon, we are going to derive two subclass. So first one is the triangle. Triangle is a subclass. In triangle, we are going to draw two different type of triangle. So first one is a right angle triangle, equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle. So we can draw three different types of triangles in a triangle. So triangle is a subclass, and in triangle we can also draw three different types of triangle. One is the right angle triangle, equilateral triangle, and isosceles triangle. So these three types of triangle you can draw by using the triangle subclass. So these are the property where inheritance is applicable. So inheritance is applicable starting from the polygon. Polygon is the superclass, so that is the base class. If you are going to create a subclass, that subclass is called the triangle, and triangle is further divided into three class, or you can say it can be derived into three class, that is right angle triangle, isosceles triangle, and equilateral triangle. So they are follow the structural property. So that's why inheritance is a structural property. So what is the base class? So base class is the main class. If you're going to discuss in the object-oriented programming, so what is the base class? So that is the root class, or you can say base class is a class which defines those qualities common to all objects to be derived from the base class. So if you're going to create more than one class or more than one derived class or subclass, so every subclass must have the some features of the base class, that is called the inheritance. So base class is the main class, and every derived class have the some features of the base class, that show the inheritance. Now second point is the base class represent the most general description. So most general description means if you're going to create a base class, so base class is the first class, and after that if you're going to create new class maybe it will be have the some property of the base class, that is called the derived class. Now last one is a class that is inherited is referred to as the base class. So any class that is inherited by the main class, that is called the derived class, and derived class has the features of the base class. So what is the derived class? Basically the class is derived from the base class are called the derived class. So derived class basically is nothing but it is a type of a class which can be derived from by the base class. So base class is the main class, and derived class is the subclass of the main class where it can inherit the property of the base class. Now second point is a derived class includes all features of the generic base class and the add qualities specific to the derived class. So derived class basically inherit the property of the main class and on which it will applicable. So main class derived class is basically is nothing. Main class property main class is having the property of the derived class having the property of the main class. Now last one is the class that does the inheriting. It is called the derived class. So if you're going to discuss about the derived class, so every derived class inheriting the property of the base class. So base class is the main class, derived class is the subclass where every derived class having inheriting the property of the base class. Now I am going to discuss about the inheritance. So how inheritance is basically important in object-oriented programming. So derived class can be used as a base class for another derived class. If you're going to derive new class, so new class behave as a derived class for the upper class. So every upper class is behave as a base class, and new derived class, every new derived class can have the property, inherit the property of the upper base class. In C++, inheritance is achieved by allowing one class to incorporate another class into its declaration. So if you're going to use in programming, so you definitely will explain in the programming key. If you're going to create a derived class, so derived class will have the some features, base class will have the some features. So you will explain initially in the programming part. So after doing the program, so which is the main class and which one is the derived class. So you can see easily this is a main class and this is the derived class. In the programming part, you can explain the every part, then you can do the program. So here is the program. You can see how inheritance is applicable. Syntax: class derived class, access specific base. So you are going to discuss about this one. So syntax is class derived class. So if you're going to derive a class, so it can be derived by the which base class. So the base class is access specifier is the base class. So derived class must have the address of the base class. Now example: class rectangle, public C polygon. So in this you can see this is the derived class and this one is the base class. Similarly, class triangle, so public polygon. So polygon is the base class and triangle is the derived class. So derived class have the property of the base class. Public base class inheritance. All public members of the base class become public members of the derived class. So public member of the base class become public member of the derived class. So public member of the base class is the main class and derived class is the subclass where it has the property of the base class. Next point is all protected member of the base class become protected member of the derived class. So why they are protected member? Because they are inheriting the property of the base class. That's why they are protected. So protected member of the base class become protected member of the derived class. So you in simple way you can say if there is a base class and base class have two different derived class. So derived class have the property of the base class. So that's why it is protected due to the base class, and because it is why it is protected, because it inherit the property of the base class. So what is the private base class private base class in inheritance? So all public and protected member of the base class become private member of the derived class. So this is the property. And next one is but private member of the base class remain private to base class, only not accessible to the derived class. So these are the difference between the private base class inheritance. What is the protected member of the base class? So protected member is not accessible by the other non-member element of the program. So who is the protected? So protected can access the part of the program which are in the braces, not outside the braces. The base class protected members become protected member of the derived class. So protected means if you're going to talk about the protected, so base class, the property of the base class inherited by the derived class, and derived class have the protected because it has the limitation. So that's why it is inheriting the property of the base class. Protected member of the base become protected member of the derived class and are therefore accessible by the derived class. Now next one is the private base class inheritance. So these are the private base class inheritance. Now I am going to discuss about the protected base class inheritance. All public and protected member of the base class become protected member of the derived class. All public member of the base class become unavailable to the main function. So that is the main function. Now last point is all private member of the base class become unavailable to the derived class. So these are the property of the protected base class. So you can say inheritance property. So inheriting multiple base classes. So you can see the diagram, program. This is the syntax. Class derived, access specifier base 1, access specifier base 2. So derived class can have the property of two different base class. Similarly, in the next example, you can see here class orange, access specifier yellow, access specifier red. So orange may be yellow or red, and it having the property of two base class. Thank you.